Hey everybody, welcome to the Tesla Life, episode 5. My name is Russell Frost. I am one of the two hosts of this show. Let me introduce the other host. His name is Mark Coughlin.
Hello everybody, welcome to show number 5. And we've got some great news lined up to see what's going on in the world of Tesla today.
Absolutely, and we should say thank you to all the people that watched last week's show. There was a whole bunch of you, and thanks to Evan for number one tearing apart his Model X for us on video.
I hope he got it back together because I think his wife is going to kill him.
Can I tell you how little I care? I mean, not that I care about Evan. I just like if you can't get the speaker grill back on, you probably shouldn't. No, he's a doctor. He's a trauma doctor. He can put the speaker grill back.
Or he can put himself back together.
Absolutely. And joining us this week are two of my favorite people. If you watch What Drives Us, you will recognize them from that show. However, probably not by his cartoon appearance. First, broadcasting from a remote location in Boston, Mr. Tony Schaefer.
Hi, everybody. I want to give a shout out to everybody and apologize for the crappy bandwidth. I am in a hotel. If you're watching the video, check it out. There's the hotel. There's the bed. There's the door and the so yeah. I'm in Boston this week for work and
But yet you're wearing a Chicago shirt. How does that work?
I'll tell you what. The Bruins fans aren't giving me any slack. That's
yeah. Go figure. Yeah. Go figure. You know, Mark did want to ask. You weren't that person yelling at the Orioles outfielder earlier this week, were you?
Hey, Paul, how are you doing tonight?
Well, speaking of Paul,
absolutely not. It has made the news quite a bit, and I do want to give a shout out actually before we go to Paul to Tamara. I don't care if Evan got the Model X back together, but it's Tamara's car. So for Tamara's sake, let's hope he got it back together.
I'm not at all worried. I'm sure Tamara probably took care of Evan if he didn't get it back together.
Exactly.
I'm not. Another person who's never been on the show before, he is our technical EV and hybrid expert. In this case, EV expert, he has founded and currently runs Boulder HC, which does EV repair and upgrades and whatnot. So let's introduce him. His name is Paul Guzik. Oh, no.
Oh, Paul went silent.
Paul went silent.
We lost the audio on Paul. He can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Oh, your mic. So you're muted.
He just turned that on. So maybe he's testing.
Try unmuting.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Yay!
That's weird. It's coming through my computer, not my headset. But
ew, sorry about that.
Weird. Okay, I'll take off the headset.
There you go.
Boulder, Colorado, where one of our favorite local brew pubs has a logo that, if you look really close, kind of looks like a Tesla T. I'll post the link here.
Hey, Paul, you may want to put on the headset because the mic works better if it's on your head.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But then you can't hear, right?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's all now.
Yeah.
Just uncover one ear and
But
you'll
it's
be
through
able
the
to hear.
computer. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it's definitely picking up the microphone through the computer or through the headset. I love technical issues. You know, it's just so wonderful.
Especially in a live show. That's great.
Well, hey, you had 4 good shows. What can you say?
Yeah, we had 4 good shows, and now we've already begun that precipitous decline. Well, let's get into the Paul. You can find Paul in Boulder, Colorado, and he is at boulderhc.com. And we're hoping that his audio comes back so that we can benefit from his wisdom. But if not, we'll just enjoy watching him fiddle with his computer.
On the other end.
Yeah, because who doesn't love watching somebody struggle on camera? And speaking of struggling on camera, I'm going to turn it over to Mark. Did I say that?
Oh, that is bad. That is
I didn't
bad.
know that.
Okay. Well, interesting story that we saw this week was the white Tesla that has been spotted on several roads, driving around and being chased by paparazzi, I would believe, because there seems to be a lot of people taking photographs of this car that is out and about driving on Southern California roads. I've got the screen shared. Is it showing or not?
Oh, I was actually screen sharing it too. So
Okay.
there you go.
So
Yes.
we've got this Model 3 that has been parked at a supercharger site, and as you can see from the photo, they're now into disguising it. Now, I don't know if this is a really good disguise because it really sticks out like a sore thumb that somebody has a car that's tarped sitting in a supercharger lot, and everything is covered except for the front wheel. So I don't think they really figured out a good way to camouflage this car. It must be just me, but it kind of drew more attention to it when I saw it in this way.
I'm guessing an enormous cardboard box wasn't practical.
Maybe they could bring some shrubbery and put it around the car or something. But putting a tarp over it and shoving it in the corner is just not doing it. But this same white release candidate has been spotted all over the Bay Area, and people have been snapping pictures as they sneak up on it, driving around. It's certainly the white gives you another view of the car, and there's some other good angles of it showing the front. And the white allows you to see those angles a little better than the dark colored cars. So people are quite happy that the white has now been caught in several places. But it's giving everyone a little bit of a better idea about the actual shape of the car as it's moving around.
I just think that's interesting. He stopped at the Abercrombie and Fitch in Gilroy, California. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm sorry, for those of you who aren't from the Bay Area, Gilroy's probably 60 miles south of Fremont. And it's kind of like only on the way to Southern California. You know, it's not anything.
Yeah, like it's almost like the last stop before you hit the PCH or 101. Is that correct?
No, it actually, well, I guess you could head over that way. Let's just say it's the last stop of civilization heading south, whether you go inland or go by the coastal route. Yeah.
Okay.
Famous for its garlic, which smells like garlic year round.
I did not know that. I wonder how many of our viewers knew that the famous for garlic. That's interesting tidbit. Didn't know that.
You know, that's the problem with having an ex-Bay Area resident here. I'm going to come up with that stupid crap.
Hey, does anybody hear me?
We do.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay, my technical difficulties have been resolved. So
yay!
Very good.
Well,
Glad to
welcome
be
the
here.
show. Thank you. We're so glad to have you. Any commentary on the ineffective canvas coverall for this? I mean, it's nothing around. Nobody's not trying to hide it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, other than the exterior and the angles that you can see better with the white body, did they happen to capture any internal? Did we learn anything about the interior or?
Well, we haven't learned anything about the interior, but again, here's a couple of other shots that were snapped as the car was moving in another direction. But you've got the side view, which was really good. This was a very clear picture of the side of the car.
all right.
And then we've got the back end of it here, which is a great clear shot as well in high res. This one kind of caught between the pillars of the car that the paparazzi was in was not quite as clear, but certainly this one on the side was very nice. But they didn't get any closer to the car than this that I have seen.
And my guess is the canvas probably an effective block to prevent interior shots.
Most likely.
Yeah,
likely.
that's why it was.
But it's kind of interesting that in a previous paparazzi surprise in Cincinnati in the rain in the middle of the night, someone spotted at a Tesla supercharger in Cincinnati that there was a black Model 3, and they snuck up on it. And as soon as they got the camera rolling, the car started to take off. So I think these people that are test driving it now are very leery
paparazzi
about what's going on around them. Yes.
Yeah, is that level 6? What is that?
The paparazzi blocking circuit.
And level 7 is it drives over the paparazzi.
Ooh. Ooh. I like that. I just want to point out that it looks like the Prius is winning the race in the bottom photo.
Just slightly. Those are probably the guys that robbed the bank, though, so they're in a hurry.
Right.
They've got the souped up Prius. Yeah.
They've got the fast Prius. Yeah. Wrong year, but hey, it still looks good.
Exactly.
So let me ask you guys this. They talk about all these new release candidates. You know, there's this release candidate, next release candidate, next release candidate. What is it from one to the other that they're testing? So what makes one release candidate better or newer than the other? So the question is, what are they gaining other than pictures and the unofficial?
It might be controlled leaks, so the media can kind of get some excitement going, some buzz going.
Possibly, but it's really tough to tell from the outside that they're not. There were some initial pictures of a camera in the C-pillar that they could see or believe that they saw, or there were some wires sticking out of the front of the car in a certain selection of pictures. But it's really, and of course some have different style of rims in pictures, but who knows what they're doing? Like, I don't think anybody knows except for them. They could be, like as Paul mentioned, they could be, testing software. They could be testing shift points. They could be doing anything. But it must be
seat materials. Seat comfort.
Yeah, sure. It's like I've said on What Drives Us, when we see, I got to remember. It was a car, and it might have been the Model X, before it was officially released, that was spotted at a supercharger, and it just happened to be a heavily trafficked supercharger, and it just happened to be spotted there. And my question was, if they were testing distance or testing the ride or shift points or whatever, there's a lot of open land. You could do a lot of testing away from public eyes.
Right.
And they're doing a lot of testing right on the streets.
Yeah, the proving grounds are the actual roadways. Like, it just seems that everything is being tested in a live scenario.
Well, I mean, there's really no reason for them to hide at this point. These aren't. There's no big changes coming that, at least that we suspect, that we have any reason to believe. These are release candidate vehicles. One of them had different door handle, had different taillights, right?
Yeah.
Right, but that was also chalked up to they just weren't finished with the taillights.
Right. So, I mean, we're not. I guess, obviously, it's advanced marketing, and whatever. Who can blame them? People are interested. People want to see it.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely true. When you get people hunting around supercharger sites in the middle of the night in the pouring rain, there are some interested people, obviously.
That's way more time than I have. I mean, bless them and all that, as we say down here in Florida. But well, let's go to something else. Someone whose maybe opinion of Tesla isn't quite as sunny. A friend of ours, Bertel Schmidt, writing for Forbes this week, wrote an article that took a pretty serious slant. And the question, of course, in the headline, yay, questions in the headline, is who is the world's leading EV maker? It's not Tesla. And, of course, the answer is Renault Nissan. And put very simply, global electric vehicle sales for the first quarter of this year, Renault Nissan sold 36,723 vehicles. Tesla, we guess, sold about 24,950 vehicles. So Nissan makes more EVs than Tesla. Thank you, Forbes. I'm not really sure what, all of a sudden, like, my investment video started running. I'm not really sure what this means. To be honest with you, it feels like kind of just like, slap. I know what it means. In the article, Mr. Schmidt says that Tesla's market share and mind share is outsized for what they actually produce, which is an interesting point of view, although I don't know that it's supported by the evidence.
Would you say that it's, well, it is a fact, right? Like when it comes to unit volume,
yeah,
that is a fact. But it's I don't know. I don't know what they're getting at to the point that, you know, Tesla's got this huge amount of people waiting for a model to show up that will, you know, easily eclipse as time goes along any other EV maker. But and it's you know, we're fairly confident it is going to happen. I would say that anyone that's looking at the ramp up that's going on at Tesla is going to agree that this is coming. It's certainly on its way. It's being built. The machine is under construction, and once the machine is turned on, we are going to have a huge amount of cars flood the marketplace. That will be all EV.
Well,
but I guess one of the concerns is their stock is way overvalued for present performance. Everybody's betting on the future, which.
But isn't that what the stock market is? It's a bet on the future.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But for the Tesla's market cap is more than Ford, is kind of mind blowing. You know, a company like Ford that sells millions of cars a year all over the world, and Tesla sells thousands, maybe tens of thousands if they're lucky. Yeah.
Maybe. I do think it's ironic that to make this number, there's two things that are questionable in this. And the Mitsubishi Outlander, which we've talked about in the show, Paul, you yourself
the unicorn car.
The unicorn car, which has only been sold in Europe and Asia. Mitsubishi has refused to import it into the U.S., even though there's been demand. And the RAV4 Hybrid, for instance, is going gangbusters. 7,000 of those, which is a funny number. And then Alliance Other EV, almost 5,000 unnamed EVs. Anybody have any guesses there? Because I don't.
I was just hoping that it was one of these. It was some of the the electric delivery vans or electric utility vans.
NV2000. Oh, that's a lot of those though.
Yeah, well, they're I guess if you make them and sell them, then they count. It's a unit, and I looked at this article, and it's like the question: who's the world's leading EV maker? It's not Tesla, and I wanted to say, who really cares? It's not me. I mean, what's
and did they even mention like the no-name Chinese companies that are building EVs that only sell in the Chinese domestic market? I mean,
they do mention that, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, briefly, but again, I honestly, I got to tell you, I read through this a few times, and it just kind of felt like kind of a flaccid slap at Tesla. Like, I mean, for instance, one of the, I'm sorry, Tony, let me just quote, Nissan's aging Leaf outsold Tesla's likewise long in the tooth Model S. Now, let's be
long
clear.
In the tooth.
Yeah, they're both models have existed for a while.
The writer's jealous that he can't own a Tesla.
Yeah, I'm going to hate to.
I'm sorry. I think most people would be happy with a Tesla. It's not long in the tooth.
Maybe he should have switched it. Isn't that like the Nissan Leaf at this point?
Right. Well, I mean, and he says that the Leaf is old, but so is the Tesla, and it's like, that car's been updated significantly.
Yeah.
Since then, whereas the Leaf is pretty much still like the low
and even
range vehicle that it's always been.
The version of Leaf was only a mild update, whereas. Yeah, I mean, Tesla is in like a constant update cycle. I mean, anytime they have a better idea, they just update the car on the fly.
Yeah, roll it into production immediately. So it's certainly been a evolving car as time has gone on. Even the exterior has been evolving. The front end was changed. They got rid of the nose cone and replaced it with a newer, sleeker look. But the Leaf, I don't think one thing has changed to the exterior of that car. It still looks the same.
Oh, now let's not forget that they added solar panels to the spoiler. I only wish I were making that up.
Well, let's leave Mr. Schmidt. I think it's certainly it's never hurts to be critical, to look at what Tesla's doing. with a critical eye and not necessarily just one of cheerleading. But that said, this doesn't quite feel like, it kind of feels like anti-cheerleading, you know?
It really kind of felt to me when I was finished reading it, it could have been, whose operating system is on 95% of the world's PCs? It's not Apple. and here I am sitting there like, okay, what's your point?
Yeah, I mean, Tim Cook's not going to lose his job for that.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to something kind of fun. On What Drives Us a little while ago, we had a gentleman named Matt Teskey on from Teskey Designs. He was the person who put together the Chevrolet Jolt, which website, which was sort of it wasn't a joke, but it was just sort of saying, hey, wow, wouldn't it be cool if Chevy... Yeah, a concept car. Just didn't come from Chevrolet.
Right.
And he made a beautiful site, really cool, and lots of people talked about it, and GM kind of stepped on it, and then it went away, and then it came back. And needless to say, Matt's very interested in EV marketing. So what I want to do is show a 1:13 long commercial that he's made for Tesla. And then we're going to just chat about this, because I'm just curious what everybody thinks. So here's the commercial, and enjoy.
Yay!
So I have to spin my mic.
And I presume that's an unauthorized commercial, right? No one paid him to do it.
That is correct. He did this on his own, on spec, just trying to, I guess, prove a concept. And we're gonna, just so everybody knows, at 9 o'clock tonight we record episode 229 of What Drives Us, and Matt's going to be a guest for the whole show. We're going to kind of dissect this and talk about EV marketing in general on What Drives Us. But I obviously we have to talk about this here because the center point is Tesla.
And I'm going to spend the hour of What Drives Us telling him why he's wrong.
Okay.
It's interesting though. Was this in response to the Tesla commercial contest?
I think, is that Project Love Day?
Yeah.
Yes. This is a Project Love Day production.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So this was something I don't want to say solicited by Tesla but I mean, this is something that they asked people to do, which was create Tesla commercials. And Matt spoke to us a little bit about it in email, and one of the things that he was saying is played out is the whole, like, you're going to save the planet, you're going to be greener, you're going to feel wonderful about yourself, blah blah blah. Let's talk about the other reasons why EVs are worth owning. And I think that's, for me, the big thing, which is enough with that. Not that that isn't important, but you're trying to sell something, and it's not always. When you go to buy a steak, again, it's like the old, like, are you selling the sizzle or the steak?
Yeah.
You don't need, like, if I tell you that there's 100 grams of protein in it, you're going to go like, yay. But if I tell you, oh, it's a delicious steak, and you see it, then it's like, oh, I might want that. Not Tony. Tony, of course, is vegan and doesn't care about steak.
Right. But I'll watch you enjoy it.
Thank you. And you will.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good step in that direction, in the direction where I don't think it's a step far enough, but I do think it's a good step in that, again, we're not talking about like how easy it is to recharge or about range anxiety or about saving the planet. These cars are really fun. They're a blast.
And did anyone notice that the main character in the commercial, the little boy, did he resemble anybody that you noticed?
Are you really going there?
I think that he looked like Musk. I think he was purposely dressed up to look like Musk.
Oh, I thought he looked a lot like Jim Lutz.
Maybe it's one of Elon's kids.
Okay, we're not going there.
Can we stay out of that? Here we go. How's that?
Oh, yeah.
Is that Elon Musk as a child? Does Matt Teskey have a time machine?
I think so.
So I'm just curious. What do you guys think of the commercial?
I mean, it's great to promote EVs, but I don't know. I don't think I'd be excited about buying a Tesla just seeing that commercial.
Tony?
I was a little thrown off, and this was part of the email back and forth we had. I was thrown off with all the shushing, and so I was, and so that's, my response to him was, well, that's great. The EVs are quiet. It's, thinking that all fun cars have to make noise. And, his mom takes him out and shows him that the Tesla's a lot of fun and it's quiet. The thing that really kind of threw me off is the kid's making noise and his dad shushes him. So he moves somewhere else and his daughter shushes him. And then he's sitting there kind of moping and his mom looks down and shushes him. And
Shushing is never good.
Right. And then that's where, of course, Matt clarified that that wasn't a shush, like a me, be quiet. That was more of I have a secret, don't tell anybody.
Right, because she dropped the key fob in his hand or close to his hand, and then said for him not to, not to freak out or not to be too loud about the excitement.
Yeah. This is our secret. Don't tell anyone. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it was a little lost on me, but once he explained it, of course, once Matt explained it, I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now that's what's going on.
I thought it was good. I liked it. It was. I think it's certainly a step in the right direction, as Russell has mentioned. Sell the sizzle, not the steak. It's something that advertising has been missing in the EV group of all models for some time. And although Tesla doesn't advertise at all, this is, there are a number of fans that have made their own advertisements, and I certainly would suggest people look at some of them on YouTube. They're incredible. Like, some of them are really well done, and I would certainly put this one in that category as well.
The production was really well done, but I think if they had like a pan of the inside of the Tesla and a happy driver, and then people riding in the car, and like the YouTube videos where the guy steps on it and they go, holy shit, like that would really be the sizzle, in my opinion, to get people.
I want to see a 5-year-old go, oh, holy shit. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, like, and with them sink into the back seat,
Yeah. Right. No, I totally agree. And
because those YouTube videos of acceleration really showcase the Tesla's capability, and that wakes people up. So.
Right. It puts the final nail on the golf cart concept.
Yeah.
Right. Which is a really good thing to do, and which really Tesla's been the leader in that. In a lot of ways, in the mainstream leader. I mean, there's, you can go buy a supercar EV that's, $300,000 or something that goes really fast. But I mean, Tesla's brought that down, if you will. Granted, it's still expensive, but
and it's real. It's not like a Faraday future, which may or may not ever exist.
And it's
I don't think you're allowed to say that word on this show.
Sorry.
Yeah, those super EVs that you're talking about, they're one-offs. They're
Right.
built for dragging. They have maybe one seat, and even that's and they have a roll cage. But yeah, I mean, the Tesla
And a range of half a mile.
Yeah, it'll go exactly a quarter mile. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but Tesla's made it real, and they've made it comfortable. They've made it luxurious, and they've made it enjoyable.
High tech. And
Yeah. I think it's a good commercial. I do.
Yeah, and we'll pick it apart, as I said, in what drives us, episode 229. It starts recording live on YouTube at 9:00. I want to tear it apart and really break down what I think works, and we'll all kind of go with the commercial's producer, Matt Teskey.
I hope Matt's drinking when we're doing this.
Oh God, are we going to be that mean to him?
I don't know. He said we're going to break it apart.
Yeah, well, I mean,
We said it, not him.
I have some constructive suggestions to make it better. That's all.
Wasn't sure if you were talking about the commercial or his heart.
Oh yeah, no. Matt's safe in Portland. He doesn't care.
Yeah, right.
He's good. So for our next story, let's talk about the Gigafactory, Mark.
Yes, the Gigafactory, the ever-growing Gigafactory. It's been recently released that a number of new building permits have been snatched up by Tesla to again begin the size modification to the exterior of this factory. You've got a picture here showing its present size, and it really hasn't grown a lot since last year. But there's now a new section that they have got these permits for, called Section G, and the build out is set to begin again. So
Sector 7G.
Yes, Sector 7G. That's right.
Sector 7G. Are you kidding me?
Where did you pull that from, Paul?
I think it's an obscure Simpsons reference.
Is it really? Wow.
So at what point does it stop being a gigafactory and start becoming a PETA factory?
The PETA sign's on back order, so we're still waiting.
All right.
Mega
Wasn't
factory.
Google 1,000 zeros, so it could be the Google factory?
Is it the Google
A million
factory?
zeros.
You got it.
Or million zeros.
Is it, mega, is it kilo, mega, giga, PETA, I think.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. That's how it goes, right? Yeah.
Big ass.
It's just the BA factory. This one.
So the current structure is about 1.9 million square feet in its footprint. And apparently this only represents 30% of the total finished Gigafactory. So we've got 70% less to build out on this site. So it is going to be massive. Like, we knew it was, but it's interesting to see like these photos that they're showing, like just the parking lot of the sea of these cars and the size of the building behind it. It is quite a structure that is continuing to grow in the Nevada desert.
Hopefully they'll have enough parking for their employees at this facility.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Because you can see they're covering up parking lot with factory.
Yeah, what's going to happen next is that another Instagram account will pop up.
Yeah. I can't walk to the gigafactory.com is probably.
Yeah, I hope they start in that parking garage soon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, or again, build some transit to the damn thing. Now, one of our nice commenters on YouTube actually mentioned that that Tesla parking lot or the Tesla factory in Fremont is scheduled to have a BART stop, which would obviously be huge because then it would be connected to the entire Bay Area mass transit network, and you'd be able to literally get off the BART and walk to the factory. Which would be very cool and hopefully empty out that parking lot. But we know people love to drive to the car factory.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. We're going to drive to the car factory.
Yeah. Related to that story, our final story this week, and thank you, Mark, for that, is guess what? Guess what it's about? It's about the Gigafactory.
No.
Hey!
What a segue.
I know. Thank you. This is Electric again, saying that Tesla is set to announce. They wrote in their quarterly newsletter that they have plans to announce 2 or 3 more gigafactories by the end of the year, but apparently Elon has signaled that it will probably be 4 more gigafactories. starting construction before the end of the year.
Starting construction. Wow.
Excuse me, announcing locations for me.
Okay.
My bad.
Sorry, but there's a difference.
Breaking news.
My mistake. Yeah. They are already built, folks. Here we go. Takes a big cloth.
They were
off
just
it.
under a tarp.
Under one of those
Big
canvas car covers with a wheel showing. I honestly, like, this is one of those things that, like, it's so big. Like, how is this appropriate for the demand for the product that this factory is going to make? I don't know, but apparently Elon and his financiers think so. So,
Well, we've kind of noticed with Elon over time that this is a man that runs with the ball. He seems to just go faster and faster and faster. So I'm not surprised that he's starting to outline these things in mass. He seems to like to release these things certainly far in advance and get support behind them. But it's something that he does on a regular basis.
yeah. Well, and the speculation, of course, is where these are going to be. Elon's talked about, Tesla digging deeper into the global market. So obviously, you got to think that one of these things is going to end up in China. I mean, that's just, I think that's
And
so
probably Europe.
obvious.
Yeah, it's
And probably one in Western Europe, and then another one or two here in the U.S. Apparently, there's a factory now, or at least started. They're talking about one in Buffalo, New York, of all places.
Well, that of course is the solar factory. The
Is that Solar City?
yeah, Solar Cities factory is up and running in Buffalo currently.
if I had to guess on an Asian market or location, I would actually guess 2 in Asia, possibly 1 in India, 1 in China. Because every futurist, every person monitoring growth is saying that China and India, both governments are pushing electrification, and in both locations do they have an emerging middle class that will be able to purchase these cars. They're huge players.
It could also be South America, where there's massive lithium deposits.
That's true.
That's true. If you're building the batteries and
Right.
batteries, yeah.
But then you have to ship the batteries. So I don't know what's easier to ship, the lithium or the finished product.
Yeah.
True.
Well, I mean, it certainly does make sense to have factories near where your consumer demand is. It's usually easier to move raw materials, but I say usually and not always.
Right, and I'm also thinking, labor rates and all of that in those locations
Right.
much cheaper than the United States and possibly Europe.
No, I mean, I think India is a very astute guess, Tony. That's a very good one.
I get a
Very
point.
good.
But is there a piece of land big enough in India to build a gigafactory
That's a
that
problem.
doesn't have people on it?
Right, it's because it's not a very big country at all.
And it's very densely populated.
Very densely. The northern part is just standing room only.
I don't know. And who did I put the caption on this article, Mark, or did you do that?
I believe I did.
You
Yes.
did. Okay, I was going to say I don't remember. Mark's caption for this is: "We cover the surface of the Earth with gigafactories." When in fact the entire Earth is a gigafactory, then no one will have to go anywhere for anything.
No, I did not do that one.
You did not do that one. Okay. I just think it's Mark quickly steps back.
No, I'm not taking the blame on that one.
I'll own that then.
Mark is not standing by anything he's said.
Yeah, I mean, again, my only concern here is for the long-term health of Tesla, and I hope that Elon's not overextending himself financially and overexpanding before there's a demand for this product. There's certainly demand. I mean, portable power energy is everything.
Yeah.
And if 50% of the people go through with their Model 3 reservations, they're going to need a ton of batteries.
Yeah.
And then I really would like to see. I mean, I don't remember exactly when Gigafactory 1 was announced, and then to when ground was broken, and then it became online. So maybe if the Model 3 is released this year and goes into full production next year, that'll be generating the revenue that now Tesla can start looking at, well, if we're going to come out with a truck, then we're going to have to manufacture it somewhere. And if we're going to come out with a semi, we'll have to manufacture that somewhere. And, oh, we're going to be selling more Model 3s. So maybe he'll announce the locations and secure the real estate and then start the actual groundbreaking and developing after the Model 3 goes into production.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Fair enough. I'm willing to. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mark? He says, putting Mark quickly on.
I think Pi
On the
is
spot. He says, I would say that Elon, again, he tends to talk about grand ideas openly a lot more than other CEOs of other companies. And I think that it's a lot of, I believe it's getting support behind him. I think it's as much for the shareholders and the stock market than anything else. I think he's drumming up support and letting people know that his large ideas that he's already put in play, he's got larger ideas that will even push it further into the stratosphere. So I think that's part of the message that he's sending out when he comes out with these statements.
Nice.
right.
Nicely said. Well, gentlemen, I think that is our news for this week.
One more thing.
Go on.
We just learned recently that the Model 3 unveiling is going to happen for a select group of Tesla winners June 2nd and 3rd.
What?
Yeah, there's going to be a private viewing at the Gigafactory. They're going to get a tour, and then after the tour, they get to speak with some Tesla representatives, and then they're going to be the first ones to actually get up in front of the Model 3 and not get run over.
Yeah. And they're doing this. They're doing this in Nevada.
Yes, at the okay, maybe it's incorrect.
Maybe it's Fremont.
It might be Fremont.
Fremont would be a lot more media friendly because that's out there.
And then the question is whether or not they're going to allow the media in at any point, or if this is just going to be for the Tesla winners.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Lots of people trying to sneak GoPros into that one.
I bet.
Yeah.
Wow. Crazy. Well, thank you for bringing that. You said June 2nd and 3rd. And do you know how to enter the contest or anything?
The contest's already over. These were people that won the contest for referrals.
Oh, the referrals.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if the media, because typically the media does get invited to some of these type events just before or just after, but no one's sure. So we're going to have to wait until the 2nd and 3rd of June to find out.
And Tesla's not above not doing an open invitation or not doing a whole bunch of press and inviting a handful of people, a small group of media people, and saying, okay, that's it. Your coverage will be good. Time, New York Times, you know what I mean? Like, they like to go to the top. They don't like messing around.
Yeah.
Right or wrong. Well, that's our show for this week. I want to thank everybody for coming on. Paul, especially you with all the problems, and God knows there might be someone trying to pick up their car right now, banging on your door. Where are you? Please, for the love of God, give me my car back.
I'd like to give a shameless plug here to the Fate Brewing Company, which is a local brew pub here in Boulder, Colorado. And if you want to share the link, they have an interesting logo. If you look at it really closely, you can almost see a Tesla logo in their logo.
Oh, really?
It's subliminal, but it does exist there.
Oh, look at that. Indeed. Well, we'll share that on the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/the Tesla Life #1. That's just Tesla Life 1. Thank you. There you go. Everyone can see. Look at that logo. It kind of looks like
We're Tesla logos, right? Kind of, sort of.
You just helped put them out of business, Paul.
Elon's lawyers are on them already.
There are lawyers right now typing up emails going, what are you thinking?
Well, Elon's brother, Kimball Musk, actually owns a bunch of restaurants here in the Boulder area. So I'd assume Elon would hear about it already from his little brother or big brother.
I didn't know that. Very interesting. Well, thank you. And you can find Paul once again at boulderhc.com. His shop, Boulder Hybrids, is in Boulder, Colorado.
That's right.
Any more? Do you want to give out any other information, Paul? Or?
Just we work on Teslas, sort of. Tesla won't share a lot of stuff with us, but we certainly do tires, trailer hitches, minor fixes. So if you have a Tesla in the Rocky Mountain region and don't want to go to the dealer, we might be able to help you. And as time goes on, we'll be able to do more work on those cars.
Dealer, what the hell is that?
What's that?
Dealer, what the hell?
Oh, well, not the dealer, the factory store.
The factory store. I do want to say that the Paul's been in this business a long time and is a super reliable independent technician. So it's a no-brainer. Like, are you going to take your Tesla to the Ford dealer or to some other guy who works on trucks all day, or somebody who's dealt with this technology all of his life? BoulderHC.com, folks. Next up, Tony Schaefer.
I have absolutely nothing to plug.
Not the fine hotel that you're resting in right now?
Not the La Quinta?
Well, yeah, no. Not not the La Quinta. I'm at a Courtyard Marriott.
That's a Courtyard.
Yeah, it's actually not bad, to be perfectly honest. It does have a really nice outside area and
a nice courtyard.
And a nice courtyard. Unfortunately, it's about 50 degrees outside, so potential.
Welcome to Boston.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mr. Coughlin?
Just wanted to remind everybody that if you would like to see some more information about us through the week, we can be found on Twitter at The Tesla Life. And we can also be found on Facebook at The Tesla Life #1.
Number one. Not no ONE, no number sign.
#1. There you go.
The Tesla
So
Life.
please follow us there if you'd like to catch up on some more news throughout the week. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Absolutely. You can search us on YouTube at The Tesla Life Show and watch all of our episodes there, including our very popular episode last week. And thanks once again to the more than 5,000 of you who tuned in to watch Evan Fusco take apart his Model X door. Woohoo! We had fun doing it, and we're glad you guys enjoyed it. So until next week, join us to find out what's going on in the Tesla life. Oh, I have to turn the music up. Say out.
Bye-bye.